Would you like to grow your brand in 2020? You've come to the right place because in today's video, I'm going to share with you how you can create a brand that really drives your career or your business forward. Hi, my name is Dre Randolph. Welcome to this channel. I'm a personal branding consultant. If you want to watch videos like this, come and join us and subscribe. I post new videos every single week. I normally talk about how you can use branding to get a job, to start a business, but I don't normally talk about actual personal branding. So I'm really excited about this video. What is personal branding? Personal branding is something that you have, whether you are conscious of it or not, whether you are using it or not. Because personal branding is simply how people perceive you. Whether you have a corporate job, 9-to-5 job, and you've been hired, you have a personal brand based on how people enjoy working with you, the quality of the work that you do, how you talk, how you dress, and just how you are. And if you have a business, you have a personal brand as a founder, as a leader, as an executive, or maybe even as a speaker. And your personal brand can really help take your business to the next level. How do you build and grow a personal brand in 2020? Because chances are you're thinking about how can I take my career to the next level? You stand out as an amazing person that people should either hire, pay more, or buy your stuff, basically. So let's get into it. So for me, I find that there are really 5 things that you need to do. Okay, the first thing is you need to get really clear on what your personal brand is and what it isn't. Think about brands that you love, whether it is a fashion brand, a sports brand, an actual person like a Beyonce brand. The thing is that when you think about these brands, what do you like about them? Because what I want you to think about is that you are drawn to them because they represent values that are aligned with yours. They represent something that you believe in, and they also probably give you results or an experience that you absolutely love and that you think nobody else matches. So when you're thinking about your brand, it's really important that you start thinking about what are your values? How do you want people to feel when they interact with you? What results do you want people to achieve? How do you want people talking about you if they were referring you to somebody else? Think about what impact you want to make in people's lives. When you start asking those questions, it really helps you to identify what your brand is and what it isn't. And knowing what your brand is really important because it's kind of your North Star. It's something that will help you make the right decisions in your career or in your business in the long run. I mean, you can always change your brand, but it will always be a North Star. The next thing is, what topics do you want to be known as an expert in? Sometimes I feel like when you want to be an expert in something, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. Like, who am I to be an expert in this? Who am I to be a TEDx speaker? But the thing is that you really are an expert in something. I once had a conversation with someone. She was a client and she had been working at a company, a really top big company for a long time, but she didn't feel like she was an expert in anything. And the fascinating thing is that everyone that worked with her said she was amazing at her job. And the company actually didn't want to lose her because they said that she was the best person they'd ever found in her profession. Yet, deep down, she had this kind of imposter syndrome feeling of, who am I to be an expert? She looked at her colleagues like, oh, but they're really good at that. She'd listen to them and she'd think, of course they can say that because they know more than I do. When in reality, she was already very knowledgeable and she was already an expert. The reason she didn't feel like an expert is because she didn't feel like an expert in what she wanted to be an expert in. Get really clear on what you want to be an expert in because it's so much easier to build a brand being where you want to be known for something that you are actually passionate about. In order for you to be an expert on it, honestly, you don't need to be the best at it. You don't need to be the world's best thing in order to be an expert in that thing. The only thing that you need is you need to be just that little bit better than someone who has less experience than you. So I'll give you an example. If I wanted to be an expert in building websites, I don't actually need to be the best coder. I don't need to be working for Google. I don't need to be working for Facebook. I don't need to have some big business. All I need to do is I need to know more about building a website than someone who's never built a website before. If you are in that position, that person will just love to get your insights and your ideas for how you built your website. So even if you've only built 3 websites, for them, that is plenty relative to them building none. So think about what topics you want to be an expert in. What topics do you want to talk about? What topics do you want to be known for? And get really clear on that. And once you know that, it becomes so much easier to do the following step. The third thing is, what's the most fun way to share messages? You gotta start getting your messages heard. You gotta start getting your message out there. Now, your message could simply be your advice or your guidance, your thoughts, your ideas, your learnings, your insights on certain things. So for example, I talk about how to build your dream career. I also talk about mindset and how to really be the best version of yourself. And I also want to do a lot more videos on how to build and grow your business. I just need more time to do that. Knowing that really helps me think about, okay, what topics should I create for YouTube? What topics should I be posting on my Instagram? It really helps you get clear on the granular details of the messages you need to be getting out there. So the kind of 4 things that really help when it comes to getting your message out there. First is who. Who is your audience? Because if you know who your ideal audience is and you create content where you answer questions that they're thinking about, that they can't solve, that they don't understand, if you're answering those questions, then you'll really start to grow a loyal following, and you'll really start to grow a brand where people resonate with you, they come to you, and you're their go-to person for that thing. The next thing is also how you want to share this message. Do you want to do it by video? Or are you someone who would prefer to write blog posts? Are you someone who would prefer to do speaking engagements? Get really clear on how you want to share your message. What are the best platforms you can use? And by platforms, I don't purely mean digital platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or anything like that, but I can also mean offline platforms. So for example, maybe being at events is a really great space for you to share your ideas. Maybe speaking at companies and working with companies is a really great way for you to grow your expertise. Point is, start to think about where is the best place for you to deliver your message. How frequently can you get a message out there? The most important thing is that you're consistent. So make sure that when you're sharing things, when you're doing things, you're doing it on a consistent basis. It's easier to be consistent if you're posting on social media, or if you're posting on your website or your blog or your YouTube channel. That's easier than, let's say, for example, if you want to do a speaking gig every single week. However, if you could do a speaking gig every single week, wouldn't that be cool? You would be making money. You'd be getting paid with that kind of experience. That's a separate topic. So for me, YouTube is my main channel. So I'm consistent with YouTube. I post YouTube videos every single week without fail. There's only one time when I didn't post, and that was when I moved and I had no internet connection and there was nothing I could do about it at that time. But other than that, I'd be posting videos. Even when I gave birth, I was still posting videos. And then the next thing you need to do is you need to expose your brand. Now you need to promote your brand. You need people to discover, know your brand, and fall in love with your brand. The easiest way to think about this is to think, who can help me get my message out there? Think about press. What magazines or blogs or websites would you like to be featured in? Or perhaps you could be a guest writer. Maybe you could even write an article for these publications. Maybe you could be on a podcast. Maybe you could be interviewed on something. Maybe you could be on TV. Or maybe you could simply do a collaboration with an expert in another field. So start to get clear on who you can work with that will really help you to expose your brand, and start setting goals and really making an effort to do that. Build relationships with the people that find you and love your work. So the easiest way for me to think about this is to think about Beyonce. Okay, so Beyonce, her Bees Hive crew, they're fierce, okay? If you post anything mean about Beyonce, you probably get like tons of comments with bees like bzzz. Her fans are loyal. And when you're building a brand, what you want to do is you want to create your own loyal followers. I don't really like the word followers. I tend to prefer clients, customers, readers, friends, whatever you want to call it, but point is that you want them to be loyal. And the reason them being loyal is important is because 2 things. 1, people that are loyal are more likely to come and see you, watch your videos, to read your blog posts, and actually keep your brand alive. But they're also likely to share with other people and to help grow your brand through word of mouth. Really try and build relationships with people. And an easy way to do that is to create an email list. I use ConvertKit to send out my emails, but there are also other companies opportunities out there. I send an email on a weekly basis to the people who come across my work and want to know more from me and want to hear from me. And I also reply to all my emails, and I get a ton of emails, and I always do my best to reply to my emails. And another way you can think about this is customer service. If someone was to come across you and meet you, how can you deliver the best experience such that they feel like they want to work with you and hire you again? That is something that really, really makes a difference, as opposed to just posting stuff online and not interacting with anyone. Because if you do that, you're not going to build a strong enough relationship that will last a lifetime. And if you have a brand where people love your work for an entire lifetime and your brand keeps growing in followers or people, you will have a really sustainable business, or you'll have a really sustainable career doing whatever it is you want to do. Anyways, that's it. Those are my 5 tips on how to build and grow your personal brand in 2020. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe. I would love to know, what do you want to be known for in your field? So leave a comment in the box below. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I shall see you again next week. All right, bye.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for new videos, and click the bell button in order to get notified whenever I post new videos. There are so many more videos you can watch right now, so click on the video on the left or the right or the left or the right. I can't wait to see you next week.